And welcome in, everybody. It is time again for Almost Sports. I'm Josh. At the other end of this phone call, this video call, is Matt. Matt, how you doing?
I am doing great today, Josh. It's so good to see you and to talk about something we love almost as much as actual sports, and that's almost
That's
sports.
Almost Sports. I know it is sad that we've gone through all of March with little basketball, and now we're in April. And as you were speaking earlier before we got on air, the NBA playoffs would be starting right now, and we don't have them. We just don't
Yeah,
have them.
yeah, that's right. As an Atlanta Hawks fan, Josh, I'm used to not watching basketball in April per se, but still, just the fact that it would be out there and we can't watch it is still sad.
Yeah, it's just like there's this bar that I drive around. It has this big, like 30-foot screen in it, and as I drive by, I always see sports on, and it's near my work, so I'm driving by, I see it all the time. And now, like, it's not open right now, but if I were to drive by, it wouldn't. Like, it's always
Yeah.
if I wasn't watching it, it's at least on in the background. It's there
Yep.
for an option, and it's just not anymore, and that's a little sad.
Yeah, it's a seasonal thing, right? We're used to, I don't think so much in terms of spring, summer, fall. I think in terms of March Madness, Masters, heading baseball season,
Yep.
soccer season going on throughout all of that. So, yeah, there's just a rhythm that's missing right now.
Yep. And so we are going to try to fill in that rhythm. Matt, in case
Let's
you
go.
didn't know, of course you know, but those who are watching, we are working through the 64 team bracket that Joe Lenardi put out on ESPN.com/bracketology. We're taking all those teams, and since they can't play basketball against each other, we are pitting their mascot, and we're seeing who is going to come out as the NCAA bracket champion of mascots. So we're going to figure out which mascot is the best. Are we fighting them in a cage? Yeah, sort of. Is it which one we like best? Yeah, but I can tell you a cat or an eagle probably won't win.
You got that right. There's just too darn many of them.
Yeah, so today we're in the West bracket, the Los Angeles bracket, and that starts with Gonzaga in the 1 seed and San Diego State in the 2 seed, and I won't work my way on down, but we will get after it. What has been, Matt? What has been the mascot to beat you have seen so far in the 3 quadrants of the bracket we've covered?
Oh, that's tough to say, Josh. I know we've had our share of upsets, throughout the
Right.
throughout the brackets. I think I've enjoyed seeing some of the pluckier mascots, like some of the birds that aren't eagles, for example, getting
Right.
some wins. I think we've had a couple Cardinals get through, especially from Louisville, that you wouldn't typically think
Right.
would progress in a bracket like ours. So those are the ones I'm interested to see how far they really make it when they run up against some real powerhouses, some real unique mascots. And I know we've gone back and forth about the Bulldogs as well. I think that's been sort of a thread that's run throughout our whole conversation that Bulldogs, if you want to make it in a bracket like this, you got to be a little more creative than an English canine. So, what about you? Anything sticking out to you?
Well, hey, let's just take it right there. Let's go.
Great
Number
segue. Yeah, let's go.
Number 1 Gonzaga, the Bulldogs
Bulldogs.
versus the NC Central. Do you have any idea?
NC Central, or did you say San Diego State? Which one is it?
NC Central. NC Central.
Ooh, NC Central. Are they the Golden Eagles?
They are the Eagles. So
The
we've got a
Eagles. Okay.
Bulldog
Oh
Eagle
man.
matchup in the first. So we'll take it from there. Matt, we've got a 3-minute timer. I believe he's going to start. We each
Yes.
have one timeout per round in case we need to go even further. And then if we can't decide on who is going to come out of this, we'll flip a coin, and that'll be the way we
Yeah.
decide. Number 1, Gonzaga. In the early years, their football history, they were called the Blue and Whites or the Fighting Irish. After a football game in 1921, a reporter wrote that Gonzaga fought tenaciously like Bulldogs. Human mascots replaced live dogs in the 1980s when a Gonzaga student, Mike Griffin, wore a cape and called himself Captain Zag. He remained the Gonzaga mascot until 1982. A few more students donned the cape as Captain Zag up until 1985, and then Spike, a real dog, was named by Craig Evans, a 6-year-old assistant basketball coach's son, Bill Evans. And since then, they've had Spike, Spike 2, Spike 3, Spike 4. I think they're up to Spike 5 right now. And yeah, NC Central, I looked high and low for about maybe 5 minutes. And they are North Carolina Central. They prefer NC Central now. They're the Eagles. Don't know why they're the Eagles. Didn't say. But their official font is Gotham. Bold and book are their official, I guess, italics or whatever. But Gotham is their official font. Matt? What do you think about that?
Oh, Josh.
First of all,
This is
what's your official font?
my man. I wish you know what? It's Georgia actually. The Georgia boy that I am. There
That's
is a
good.
Georgia
That's good.
font which works. It's funny, Josh, because as I was setting the timer, I had to tell my Fitbit to leave me alone. I'm not going to take 113 steps around my house over the next 10 minutes. So that's the state that we're in right now. Um, man, someone has to win this, don't they? It's a
Yeah,
real shame
yeah.
and I feel, I mean, gosh, I'm going to go. My initial vote, and where I'm going early, is Gonzaga, just because they have more of a backstory. NC Central is already a Cinderella if we were playing basketball here, and the fact that they don't have a really good reason to be the Eagles other than somebody, just a committee decided it was probably a good idea. Gonzaga, how many great missed opportunities to have something unique. Captain Zag, come on, like that's awesome. I mean, the blue and whites, big fan of just owning the color, right,
Right,
and making
right.
that your mascot too. But anyway, so I'm going to go with the Bulldogs for now, just because they do at least have a little bit more of a mascot history to them. But I don't see them making it too much further past this first round. How about you?
Completely agree right here. NC Central has a pretty cool website. They've got all their colors and all of like their official fonts and logos and stuff. And that's where I started finding like all their stuff, all their copyright stuff. So that's cool that they have an official font. The official font of this show is Comic Sans. Comic Sans bold, and it's in a lime green because
If,
I love the '90s, and it didn't get any better than that.
if
All
you're
right,
not
so
hitting Control B, U, and I before you start typing in Comic Sans, you're not doing it right. You're
all
not
right,
doing
hey,
it right.
I'll go with you. Gonzaga's going to win this
All
one,
right.
move on to the second round, but they probably won't last any longer.
Okay. Thank
We're
goodness.
moving on. Number 8 LSU versus Oklahoma. These are two that we should know. The Tigers versus the Sooners. All right, look, Tiger King is sometimes teams they get hot at the right time. You know where I'm going.
I
Tiger
do.
King is hot right now. I haven't watched 25 seconds of it because I just heard it's just awful filth that people just drink up. But the Tigers are hot right now.
Tigers are hot. I have a very mixed opinions on the name Sooners too. I mean, you go for unique mascot, it doesn't get much more unique than an Oklahoma Sooner. Of course, the reason that they're called Sooners is that they basically moved and took over former Indian reservations before everybody else did, so they're called Sooners. And I'm sure we'll get some love from Oklahoma fans in the comments about that one. But um, you know, I know that LSU has a live tiger, right? I know that's been part of their mascot history as well. Mike the
Yep.
Tiger.
Mike the Tiger is both the name of the live and the costume. By tradition, the tiger is a Bengal tiger, although the current mascot and his two immediate predecessors are mixed breed. Mike 5 was a Bengal Indonesian mix. Mike the 6 was a Bengal Siberian mix. And the current Mike 7, is also a Bengal Siberian mix. There's
Yeah.
lots of facts about Mike, where he was buried, the football record as long as they've served, the health record where they were born. One thing they do keep up with is when the Mike, whatever number is there, is their football record. And that's like, apparently if a Mike is not good, then they'll get rid of it or something like that. I don't know. But
Like Carol Baskin get rid of it, or like really get rid of it? Like they just sell it on.
I don't even know. But Boomer and Sooner are the name of the two cream white Welsh ponies that pull the covered wagons across the field at football games. As you mentioned earlier, the Sooners were people who moved into the Indian Territory in 1888 land run, and they were too soon. Although, did you know this? Oklahoma used to have a mascot named Top Dog, Daug. He was retired for 12 years, but returned this season. He's solely a basketball mascot, and he looks like a wiener dog, but he could be a darker colored terrier or a
Is he
beagle.
alive? Is he a live mascot as well?
No, he's a costumed mascot. He looks like a
Top
wiener dog. Could be a beagle. Could be a terrier. Top Dog.
Wow. Man, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go LSU on this one. You're right. Tigers are very hot right now, and I know we've had a few other Tigers and not progress in this first round of our bracket. But I mean, LSU's use of the eye of the tiger too is pretty cool. They really own up to that. Of course, they play the tiger rag like so many other schools who have tiger mascots. But man, just in terms of strength of mascot here, if I'm moving out to Oklahoma in the late 1800s and I encounter a tiger,
Yep.
I'm turning around and heading back east.
I
So
thought that exact same thing. Like
yeah,
if and just the Tigers are hot right now. Maybe
yeah,
Sooners have a lot of strengths against other animals, other mascots, but they ran up against a hot team right here, and the Tigers are going to take them down.
yep, agreed.